Hello folks, so here I am again with another video short story inviting you to come chat with me to do a mid-year review of my 2019 goals up until the end of June 2019. Hello folks, so today is 30th of June 2019 and I think that in spite of the heat wave that is hitting on all of us here in Geneva, and that ideally I should be outside in the water, but I'm indoors doing this mid-year review of the goals that I set from the beginning of January up until the end of June. So for those of you who have been following my channel, I'm Gloria, and I set up as my New Year resolution, I set up a challenge that for every month of the new year, I would introduce one healthy lifestyle change or habit so that I could live a more healthier, happier and wealthier life. And when I say wealth, for me, your health is indeed your wealth, and that you may have so much money in the bank, but if you are in poor health, then indeed that much, the money that you have cannot serve you well. And even if it can buy you the best quality of healthcare and assistance, it cannot necessarily buy back your life, so for your health, so for me, what is more important is to maintain your good health and not to try to get it back once it's lost. So for me, prevention is better than cure. So this video will be about the review of my first 6 goals for 2019, and to see whether indeed I have managed to keep on track with each and every goal that I set. So in January, for goal 1, I set the goal of reducing screen time and increasing my time that I spend on reading. And I can safely say that I may not have reduced the screen time, but I use my time on the screen more purposefully. Like the time I dedicate or I spend on my mobile phone or my computer or my television, it's more focused, it's more purposeful, and it's more intentional, meaning that I use these 3 platforms as learning platforms, because I follow quite a few online courses, and this is to increase my knowledge and therefore my skills and understanding of the digital world, because I want to be digitally literate, because I know the importance that digital literacy will have in the future place of work, and I want to be in the center of it all, meaning that I want to be confident of the digital skills that I will bring into this new place of work, that I wouldn't feel left behind or left outside, and that I will have, yes, a role to play and to contribute in this new digital world of work. So, and I can also say that the second part of the first goal, which was to read more, I have increased the number of books that I read this year, and that I'm still on track, and I think I'm on my 4th book. And at some point in another video, I probably share with you the books that I've read and what I have learned. But this is to say that I'm fully on track with my first goal to reduce screen time and to read more. So that is still on course. Now, the review of my second goal in February was, the goal I set in February was to exercise regularly to be fit and to be active. And this, I can say that I have maintained it, and that from January 2019 up until now, I have kept up with the challenge or the promise I made to myself to participate regularly at least once a month, to participate in a popular run. So January was on course. February, I didn't find a run in my city, but I found one in early March. So that was for February, the one that I did in March. And then I also did another run in the end of March, so that was on course. April I did not. I purposely took a break, and this I will come to. I'll come to later. May, I was on course. I did a semi-marathon, and I was so happy with it. And June, I did a 10K. This was a 10-kilometer Swiss women's run in Bern, and that was awesome. It was my first time. So this, I was on course. So I can safely say that for this goal 2, to be physically fit and active, I have maintained. And even in between the runs, to be able to do the runs, these popular runs, I need to train, and I have kept that up. I must confess, maybe I have not run, practice run as frequently as I would like to, but the fact still remains that I have been practicing physically and leading up to any popular run that I sign up for. And so this is on course. Moving to March, to goal number 3, which was to drink more water. This I introduced because in February I was hit by a very nasty, painful attack of cramps, and then I realized it meant that my intake of water especially was low. So I increased my frequency and quantity of water, intake of water, and I noticed that this really improved even the quality of my skin, and of course since then I have had less cramps, but it also did mean that I was lacking not only in water but also in the necessary nutrients, the minerals, magnesium, calcium. So this is something that I address later, but it did mean that for goal 3 for March, I made it a conscious effort, purposeful, intentional, to drink more water every day. For April 2019, goal 4, the goal was to rest, restore, renew, and recover, because I realized that in April, my body told me that it needed a break from all this running, and so for the month of April I just took a break. And I think it's good from time to time to listen to your body and to stop, and to break. And so for the month of April, it was a good time because it was also a good time to reflect, to retreat, to rethink, to analyze, and to meditate, and to just to be still, pause. And this is what I did. And so for goal 4, it was to rest and to allow the body to restore. And so even as a goal, I have built in this rest and restoration in my weekly physical activities. So of course, every other day I break from any kind of physical activity apart from walking. And even when because in between the runs, the practice runs, I've also adopted aerobic exercises that I do at home on the floor. But I noticed there again that sometimes when I did it, I had cramps in my abdominals, which are very, very painful and sometimes frightening. And I noticed that even within these, the physical activity regimen that I built for myself, in between the runs, the practice runs, and the aerobic exercises, I do build into them this time for rest and restoration. So this is for goal 4. And goal 5 for the month of May 2019, the goal I set, that's goal 5, was to eat a balanced meal. And by eating a balanced meal, I meant by introducing more fruits and vegetables into my diet, because I mean, I'm not a vegetarian. I love my meat. I also love carbohydrates. It's a very typical African diet to have lots of meat and lots of carbohydrates. So fruits and vegetables are not less visible in an African diet. So I consciously decided to introduce fruits and vegetables into my diet, so meaning a salad a day, and to take 5 helpings of fruit to work. And so this meant that I stuck with staples like the apple, the banana, and citrus fruits like oranges, tangerines, and lime and lemon. And then on top of these 3 staples, I would go for other fruits that were in season. So whether it's pineapple or peaches or apricots or strawberries. But so this is how I went about ensuring that I was getting in the necessary levels of vitamins and minerals, you know, the micro nutrients into my diet. So, and I think I'm beginning to see the benefits in my face. I feel there are less blemishes, less breakouts, and it's smooth, and I feel fresh, especially in the morning when I wake up. So this is on track. So this was for goal 5 for the month of May. June, the goal that I introduced as my 6th goal for 2019 for the month of June was to privilege sleep, because you know, in this world of digital literacy, digital curiosity, digital learning, you know, your mind can get really fired up because there's so much to learn, and there's so you know, there's just so many different topics to explore that sometimes it can keep you up at night without realizing it and compromise your sleep. And I realized this was what it was doing to me, so I became very strict with myself to try to make sure that I got in at least 7 to 8 hours of sleep, because then it made me functional, and everything that I learned, I mean, this is where all the behind the scenes work, you know, starts. You know, it's while you're sleeping that the cells get renewed and everything. So I have privileged that as my 6th goal. So goal 6 for 2019 is to sleep for at least 7 to 8 hours. So this sums up all the goals that I set from January 2019 to June 2019, the first 6 goals, and I can confidently say that I am on track on all of them. So now that tomorrow will be the 1st of July 2019, I have to think of a 7th goal, and my 7th goal would be to socialize more with like-minded people. I must admit that I can be a hermit. I must admit that I love my own company. I'm never bored of myself. And I must admit that right now I'm in this phase of exploring, wanting to learn, wanting to experiment, wanting to test different softwares, different, you know, skills, especially in the digital space, that I could just get lost in my own environment and will not need so much to interact with the outside world. But I know that it's not good, and so I've made it a point that at least I break away from this self-imposed solitary confinement and go out and meet other human beings, because at the end of the day I am a social being, you know, and it's also part of maintaining my my physical, mental, emotional well-being. So yes, I've decided to socialize more, and socializing with like-minded people. So as an example, on Saturday yesterday I went hiking. Yes, I went hiking with 7 other awesome, amazing women, and we climbed the Salève, which is a mountain in France. And what happened? Yes, we did 1,379 meter climb up up the mountain, not kilometers, Gloria, it's meters. And so for me, it was a first in a very, very long time, and it was daunting because, you know, my hiking boots that I have, at good quality, the brand was lower, but I guess I'd had it for too long, and I guess the sun was just too hot that somehow something happened to the heels, and so I lost the sole, and so I had to climb without the sole, and that was very frightening. But I did manage to finish my climb, so that was great. So folks, to wrap up, this is to say that I believe that I don't believe, I know for certain that I am on track with my with all the goals that I set from January 2019 until June 2019, and that I am happy with my progress. I am happy that I have managed to maintain all these healthy habits that I purposely and consciously have introduced gradually every month into my life, and that I'm maintaining these goals, and I do see the benefits already. I see it in my physical appearance, I see it in my emotional and mental state of health of mind, and I do see the benefits. And anyway, I won't drag this very long conversation for too long, so I will let you go, but please remember to like the video only if you like it, and if you think it's something that is worth sharing and to, you know, somebody else could benefit from the kind of logic and wisdom and message I have to share, then do share this video. And also subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so, and to have regular updates. I think I will do updates, at least if nothing else, for this, so that it's really focused. And of course I'll throw in other stories of other things that I do, but I will make this the focus. This is the journey to lose all this fat. And then you don't forget to press the notification button. There's so many things I have to learn, you know, but it's a journey, and I've come to understand that perfection is an illusion. What's important is that as and when you continue to work on a skill, a craft, to acquire knowledge, then you get better and better. And this is where I guess perfection comes, that you're getting to be more confident and more knowledgeable of your skill, craft, and then I suppose you get closer to what could be considered as perfect. So on this note, I'll let you go, and I will see you soon in my next video. So until then, do take care, and let's keep in touch. Okay, take care, bye.